A situation where the government needs a president who is on side. So a lot riding on this election. We're going to speak to Bednarczyk, who's a Warsaw office director of the German Marshall Fund. It's a foundation that is a transatlantic think tank, and that transatlantic relationship between Warsaw and Washington is important for the country, but particularly for one of the candidates.
Well, traditionally, and for both candidates, it's actually stop number one. The U.S. will remain the guarantor, security guarantor, and also the lead NATO ally when it comes to Poland's security, but also support for Ukraine. And finally, when it comes to thinking about Polish security with thousands of U.S. troops here, based here in Europe, in Poland, when it comes to the looming threat from Russia. But when it comes to Poland's future in Europe and its relationship with Brussels, that's when the differences become a little bit more stark.
Yeah, before we talk about the situation with the EU, just in terms of the commitment for the United States with those soldiers that are all in the east of Poland, in Rzeszów, in Jasionka. I know that the American soldiers call it J-Town when they can't pronounce Jasionka. Is there a chance that Donald Trump is pulling them out? Is there concern that perhaps the Trump administration isn't as committed?
Not so much here in Poland. I think across Europe you may find different opinions, but in Poland, whether it be because of historical relationships and thoughts when it comes to Reagan and the Cold War, but also in today's politics, there's still confidence in Trump's administration when it comes to keeping NATO safe and secure, NATO security safe and secure. When it comes to support for Ukraine and some of those soldiers and support coming through Rzeszów, that is being considered right now by the administration. That's a little bit of a second layer question.
And of course, the situation in Ukraine is at the forefront of the EU's mind. But when it comes to the relationship with this country and the EU, possibly it could be problematic for one of the candidates.
For both candidates, still, nevertheless, I know where you're going. Nevertheless, in Washington, Poland is a model ally, and that comes from the Trump White House. When it comes to 5% spending for NATO, ready to serve along with some of our Baltic and Central European colleagues. Poland is a friendly nation for both sides of the aisle in the U.S. So I think it'll remain so regardless of who wins these elections. But in policy and some style questions, when it comes to some of the social and domestic issues, one of the candidates in policy and some style definitely leans towards the Trump style of affairs.
There's a definite difference. And so when it comes to the future of this country, obviously a lot is riding on the turnout, and there's a lot made about the turnout. There was a high turnout in the first round of this election, and arguably, especially on a beautiful day like that today, we're expecting another high turnout.
Indeed. I think we're looking almost at 70%. I'm not sure where the turnout will be, but folks are excited about this election, maybe less excited about the traditional parties and candidates, but certainly the stakes are high, and the issues are quite vivid and very tangible here, and that's what's going to be represented. Maybe not so much an excitement for the candidates, but the issues are quite top of people's minds.
Philippe, as always, thank you so much. Philippe Bednarczyk from the German Marshall